Hey guys, welcome back to Pillbox Movies. I'm Hank, and today we're going to be watching the 2020 French film Gagarine. The film is about a 16-year-old named Yuri who imagines himself to be an astronaut and his subsequent journey in trying to prevent the demolition of his neighborhood housing project, the Cité Gagarine. This was actually filmed in the Gagarin housing project before its actual demolition. I saw the DVD for this one at a used DVD store, and I thought it was interesting, so I picked it up. So yeah, let's watch Gagarine.
Gagarine! Tu connais Gagarine? Oui! Qui c'est Gagarine? C'est Gagarine? Hein? Le premier cosmonaute? Le premier cosmonaute?
Ah, I see.
Celui qui a été dans la Terre l'autre fois.
So Gagarin was a Russian cosmonaut. There's plenty of YouTube videos available on this, but if you're an American and you believe that America won the space race, please read up on the actual, milestones made by the Russians in comparison to the Americans. I see. So the housing project is named after Yuri Gagarin. A bright vision for the future, conceptualizing all of this housing for future inhabitants, for the future of France, for the future of Paris. And it didn't quite turn out that way for anybody. Very, very limited exposure, but I really like movies, narratives that kind of center themselves around housing projects. Obviously, the most famous one being Candyman. Ooh, very cool. But other ones being like Attack on the Block. High Rise is one of my favorites, definitely. Judge Dredd. It's a really interesting kind of format to utilize. Close proximity, explore kind of social stratas, class, stuff like that. Parisians, trashy, just like us. This is like a manipulation of the score to Interstellar or something. That's interesting. No to demolition. Oui to referendum. Oui to demolition. No to referendum.
Garde espoir les mecs, Gagarine forever.
Hey Yuri, faut t'y faire, hein, ils vont la détruire la cité. Hein. Tu peux rien faire, il n'y a plus de Gagarine forever.
Going through his checklist as he went on a space station, making sure that all of the machinery is functioning. Oh. I found the little constellation map.
Maman, tu rentres quand? Rappelle-moi.
Boy's got some fuzz going on. I can relate. He needs a trim. And the astronaut being the metaphorical observer, looking down at everybody, but also being isolated, cut off from human interaction. The building blocks of this kind of introverted but observational, speculative character.
Yuri, t'es toujours là?
Non, je me suis fait aspirer pour un trou noir.
It's a really good use of the actual architecture of this building, the kind of keen eye to somebody perhaps familiar with it, to utilize it to replicate the kind of space station-y feel.
Si tout est nickel, ils pourront pas la détruire. C'est elle qui va nous filer du matos. T'es ouf.
Non.
She looks exactly like Olivia Cook. What the hell?
Oh putain! Viens. Monte!
Yeah, it's taking an interesting vantage point of capturing kind of all of these patterns, these vertical dividing lines, all these kind of circuits and networks. It's interesting kind of camera placements in this movie.
Dépôt de pierre?
Very kind of geometric, architectural filming. Oh no! No! We found ourselves again in another Denis Levant drama.
Il nous faut 37 halogènes, 58 ampoules fluo-compactes, 25 néons.
Mais c'est quoi ces zozos là? Tu me les sors d'où?
T'inquiète, je les connais, j'ai confiance.
Truc volé, ça m'intéresse pas, je suis pas un brigand moi.
It's not stolen, it's scavenged. Ooh, no.
Toc,
His mom's gotta come home.
toc, toc. Bon. Ça, à la limite, hein.
A lot of beautiful found architecture in this film. Very colorful, odd, strange look at Paris. Or the outskirts of Paris.
C'est parfait tout ça là.
Touche pas à tout.
C'est pas les mêmes lampes qu'à Gag, non? Hé, regarde. C'est des IP44, ça consomme rien.
And all that stuff is just stored away. It's such a shame. It's like, you know, the potential that's within these kids. It's unrealized. It's just stored away because of some bureaucratic nonsense. Things that could be used to restore this building, the things that could be used to nurture this community and these future generations has been ignored or shut
Quand les
off.
gens ils parlent pas le même langage, eh ben, ils se tapent dessus, tu vois.
And the easiest solution
Comme
is
ça.
to demolish it
Moi,
all.
je m'en fous, j'ai une langue spéciale, je peux parler à tout le monde.
Comment ça?
Un nom de cours, ça fait D.
Wow.
Trop bien. Je parle
Teaching them
vraiment.
Morse code.
Tu connais?
That's gonna come up later in the plot, I'm sure.
Tu veux faire quoi, toi?
I want to
pas
go
ton
into
rêve.
space.
Tu veux rester ici jusqu'à ta mort?
His joy came back when ordered to take the shore. Why on earth has he wandered the warmth of my obeying this coin?
Yeah, using the architecture to frame in and frame out, to wipe in and out of each scene. It's a really nice kind of architectural filmmaking.
Ah, vas-y, avance, là. Va la récupérer.
Ah, merci.
Look at that, reinvesting back into the community.
Pour que personne regarde directement le soleil, ok?
Personne regarde le soleil avec ses yeux.
Trouvez tous une place.
Oh, I guess it's for seeing a solar eclipse. Wow. Tying back in with his love of astronomy. Yuri's a good kid. He really wants to give back to this community. Good for him.
Sois fier de toi.
Definitely. I was not doing this shit when I was 16. I was just reading up a little bit about this, and apparently this housing project was created during a like a communist party being in government in
Nous, ça a
France.
été d'un seul coup.
You need to get back to that, I guess.
Brutal. On n'a rien pu emporter. On a embarqué les deux gosses. La petite, elle avait même pas 1 an. Et on a fui comme ça, par les montagnes. Après, on est arrivé à Istanbul. Istanbul, Istanbul, j'ai soif de ces baisers. Là, on a réussi à prendre un avion direct à Paris. Quand on est arrivé, il y avait de la neige et tout. En short claquette. On a eu de la chance. Quelques mois plus tard, ils nous proposaient un logement, ici, à Gagarine. Il y a 40 ans.
Yeah, so much hope, so much like prospects placed in this building, and not like
Je t'en ai mis dans
prospects like the speculative prospects, like the imaginary economic viability that bureaucrats and businessmen imagine for the future,
Ils étaient
but
beaux. Tellement jeunes.
prospects like
Ça a pas
in
été facile
human
pour eux,
terms, futures that
ton père.
humans envision for themselves.
C'est pas parce qu'on est amoureux qu'on s'occupe pas de ses gosses.
If you want to watch a great, if a little bit weird film about the kind of the issue of migrants or
C'est bien ce que tu fais.
of like refugees and being kind of stuck in status, trying to make it from one place to another. You could watch The Terminal, I guess, but 2017 film from Christian Petzold, Transit. It's a bit like poetic and it's a bit kind of
15, ça fait 15 sur 15
abstract.
On en a 85% de clean sur les legs.
It's not his strongest work, but for a really
Tous les
great
interrupteurs
kind
sont
of
connectés. Et les néons sont tous à des puissances courantes inférieures à 2000 lumens. Y a pas de bug à
a
cet
really
étage.
great kind of observation on desperation, the quiet desperation of waiting, of uncertainty that comes with like the refugee status and how it's comparable to the kind of fears and anxieties we have about death and annihilation.
On continue?
En colère, mais on l'aime cette idée.
Non mais,
Madame,
il suffirait de rénover les appartements.
ici, c'est pas
Vos
possible.
appartements là, c'est des appartements, ils sont insalubres.
Calmez-vous,
Vous
madame.
nous dites vous allez les visiter, mais est-ce que vous allez réellement visiter vos taudis? Parce que moi j'appelle ça des taudis.
Faire ça, moi je
C'est
suis
jamais
experte.
nous qu'on écoute.
Madame, on continue s'il vous plaît.
Je vous laisse vous adresser à vos élus. Oui.
Yeah, the crisis of kind of human needs, living, versus kind of corporate or bureaucratic or inhuman interests.
Fissure et affaissement généralisé de la structure inférieure du bâtiment E.
Yeah, just beautiful
Obsolescence
angles, beautiful
significative des appareils
observations of
sanitaires.
these
Défaillance
um,
persistante en provenance
vertical
du système
patterns.
d'évacuation. Le rapport objectif et détaillé du comité d'expertise recommande une évacuation sous 6 mois pour
I'm not sure if they
démolition
actually
complète.
caught that in shot with the drone, but no, they couldn't have. Maybe they did, but one way or the other, it's a really nice kind of idea. The building itself is becoming destabilized. The shot is becoming destabilized.
Mais t'inquiète pas, ma belle. Ils pourront pas te le refuser, ce logement. Avec Adam, vous êtes prioritaire. Hein? T'inquiète pas.
Just further displacement. Just wretched. Even with their like soft, small, broken umbrellas and stuff, everything feels so lived in. And kind of like with the drone shots, the camera's constantly moving. It's that like Marvel feel to it, but I just want to say, in this movie's defense, it is kind of stylistically justified that the kind of very smooth, droney kind of camera work it gives a sense of weightlessness to the environment and supports a kind of conception of this apartment building as being like a space station that we're constantly navigating through it and moving through it in the same way that Yuri does as an astronaut or a cosmonaut. And the shots associated with the bureaucrats, with the construction workers, it's on like stable shots. It's something that's harsh and real and grounded.
C'est ton fils qui va venir te chercher.
Ralentis un peu. Ouais. J'ai plus la pistou.
And just constantly catching the building in reflection. The building's always kind of on their minds. It's probably not Gagarine, but just keeping this visual aspect constantly in the shot.
J'ai eu ta mère au téléphone.
Quoi? Elle t'a répondu? Elle va bien?
Bah, elle avait l'air d'aller. Hein. Enfin, c'était rapide. Hein.
Elle t'a dit où on allait habiter?
Bah, chez lui. Il paraît qu'il y a un jardin même.
Ok.
I really love all this archival footage. I wonder who shot this. Maybe it was for a documentary about the building of the housing project, or maybe they just collected it from people's personal libraries, but it's a beautiful supplement to the film. And again, with the kind of architectural filmmaking, slowly panning up to show the different ages of Yuri and the different heights. All encapsulated, all written into the actual building, into its actual supporting columns. Sending messages in Morse code to each other.
Yuri.
No way he got all that. His mom's not gonna come. And he's gonna hold down the housing projects, lay siege.
Mon Yuri, c'est trop compliqué en ce moment avec Franck et le bébé qui arrive. Je peux pas te prendre avec moi. Va chez Houssam en attendant. Je t'appelle bientôt. Je t'aime. Maman.
It's gotta be illegal. I mean, nothing can be done because nobody gives a shit about the people who live here, but Jesus. World fucking waste. Faster, easier, less of a hassle to destroy things rather than to restore and maintain them. He's about to go John Wick, uncovering his war chest. Is he setting up a route for himself? This motherfucker's about to go all home alone on their ass. And he's building a connection between all of the apartments.
Juste devant nous, un mécanisme d'amarrage spécifique du système russe, avec un trône, un mât, ce module a été le premier élément d'orbite pendant quelques mois. De l'eau qui permet d'utiliser l'eau chaude, froide, que nous allons utiliser.
It's gonna be a mole man? Is he gonna live in it? Is he gonna turn into, what is it, the doll? I forgot what it's called. Is he gonna live in between the walls? IRL footage of them boarding up Gagarine. What the hell was that? He's gonna die in there. He's even got a cosmonaut style helmet. Good for him. And again, setting up, utilizing the kind of weightless feel to the moving camera early on, gives a kind of sense of linearity of progression to how it's articulating the kind of sense of movement of weightlessness now.
Chut, à côté de toi, ils vont voir.
Tu fais quoi là?
Bah, comme toi.
Moi, je fais quoi?
Merci.
So this is where I live. I don't think he actually needed to vacuum seal all of that food.
Mais c'est quoi ici?
But you know, you do what you gotta do.
C'est chez moi.
C'est fou. Eh mais c'est les cerveaux de l'ascenseur. Tu les as pris?
C'est de la récup.
It's a red room. It's a greenhouse. I can't imagine it'll be sustainable, but he's doing well for himself.
Mais ça pousse pas les tomates en hiver.
C'est des Québécoises, ça résiste au froid.
Look at all this untapped potential, not realized, not nurtured, but give him the space and the opportunity and the means, how much he can do on his own.
Le plus important dans l'espace, c'est l'air. Ici, c'est pareil. La terre, l'air, c'est les trois éléments vitaux.
This is a sweet story.
La serre, c'est un équilibre entre les trois.
If this movie were to describe what a genius is, I think it would say that it is opportunity. Like a greenhouse, giving it the right circumstances in order to cultivate. It's a really sweet story. This poor kid, he really, I mean, like, he's a poor kid, has turned all this kind of strife and this kind of turbulence in his life, his mother neglecting him, the shutting down of his housing project, his home, his community, and in a very kind of introverted way, he's digested it all and turned it into something beautiful, something still with like a trace of sadness to it, a sense of loneliness to it, but it is beautiful. He's taken this moment of crisis to realize himself to his fullest potential, to be the version of himself that he really wants to be.
Et ça, c'est quoi? Oh! On dirait un sex shop. Bah, tu vois, là, on est bien. Là, les vacances, elles peuvent enfin commencer, frère.
Toi, t'es un grand malade.
And it's a nice little message.
Je te jure que ça fait du bien.
I'll be careful with this, but by exhibiting himself so fully, by realizing himself, he's actually become like a magnet, a tent pole to attract the people that he wants in his life. It makes him grow closer with Diana. It brings the drug dealer into his midst, into his thrall. But him being himself is what helps him create a community.
Il y a les fantômes là.
Fantômes.
Écoute.
Ah mais ça c'est pas des fantômes, c'est le chantier, c'est les ouvriers.
It's a sweet story. I'm like grappling with it so strongly because it feels so unrealistic, but like the mechanics of it is not that important. It's not that it's mechanically unrealistic to me. I could give a shit about that, but like the lesson of it, the message of it is so sweet and so optimistic that I'm like put in a huge sense of danger. I'm like, all of this is going to fall apart. This is going to get messed up somehow. You can't tell such a sweet story and expect me not to be on edge. In a way, it's making me think of James and the Giant Peach. A similar story of like an incredible moment of strife, of crisis, facilitating a character really understanding themselves and really expressing themselves, and not expressing themselves in a purely introverted or self-introspective way, but making them open up and realize that they want a family or a community.
Salut ton mec. Vas-y ta gueule toi.
Regardez Diane. Konica de Diane. Diane Konica de. Konica de push-up to Konica. Diane Konica de Diane.
Par contre, j'ai trouvé ça en bas, frère. Il y a des dingueries de son.
Don't smoke in the greenhouse.
C'est fort là, tu vois le green. Mon grand-père faisait ça pendant 3 jours sans s'arrêter.
Whirling Dervish, is he Russian?
Je te jure sur ma vie, 3 jours.
It's Sufi, so I'm completely wrong.
Pour la carrière, quand nos aînés
Et là, t'es dans le moment présent.
Viens par là.
Comme ça?
Ouais. Attends. Vas-y, ouvre.
Tu connais les banlieues célestes?
Non.
Les banlieues dans l'espace, c'est ce qu'il y a autour des étoiles. Comme autour du soleil. Ça brille moins, mais sans ça, l'étoile ne survit pas.
They can't do the Interstellar soundtrack like that.
C'est du Mars.
Don't destroy people's housing. It's inhumane. You see the real disconnect between people who see a house as like a home, as a place where people are, and people who see housing as an obstruction, as a thing that gets in the way of progress or convenience or efficiency. Like, progress for what? What is the point of progress if there's not humanity behind it? Is Diana a constellation? Deer Hunter? Artemis? And we build up all these speculative apartment complex fucking high-rises for luxury rental suites. And we tear down affordable public housing. What fucking nightmare we live in. People should not have to fret and feign for themselves at every corner and every instance when they live in a civilized nation. Yes, the building, obviously, because it's been shut down, doesn't actually have central heating to sustain it through the winter. You'd think he has enough insulation, though. How does he keep ventilation going through that place? It'd probably be stuffy as hell in there. Watch an elevator to gallows.
Je dois juste monter. Au 7e, il y a quelqu'un.
Il n'y a plus personne dans la
Au
merde.
7, si.
On est en train de poser les explosifs pour la démolition.
What a dark ending. I'd applaud it. It just doesn't seem like the direction this movie's going. This just seems like pushing your buttons just enough to make you think it might actually happen. But if they did go through with it, that would be insane. What a swerve. I think that'd send a brutal message. I don't know if it'd be like appealing for an audience. And the rotation, the weightlessness of the camera is now kind of implied or taken on a deranged kind of atmosphere. It's gone from like weightlessness or rootlessness and is kind of taken on the appearance of being unhinged.
Laika?
Call your mom.
Laika?
Oh man, I was totally wrong. That isn't even. Oh Jesus, yeah, that's kind of dark. I assumed he had like a runner's blanket or whatever to cover him, like an insulation blanket. But it's just like, it's just like rain plastic or whatever, just a tarp. It doesn't really provide any insulation. He's gonna fucking die in there. Jesus Christ. This is the constant question that I'm asking. I applaud the movie for making me wonder if it's willing to go that far. It's harder to tell with a French movie. It doesn't have the same kind of prescriptive values that an American movie would. But there really is a tension of are they willing to go that far to kind of spell out the lesson of the kind of inhumanity of these actions, or will they save their protagonist? They can't have all of them here without having them save him. This is going to be a message of like community saving the individual.
T'es avec Yuri?
Non, je crois pas qu'il va venir.
It's not going to see it, it's going to live it. You live in a fantasy. Dead wife to pine for? Shit, I'm a Janji. My name is John. My friends call me Teddy. He's gonna set up a light show? Something to show that he was there?
Lance le décompte.
I mean, he set up that huge electrical circuit. It's gotta be something. It's a fake blast off.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He's living in a delusion. Come on. This is eerie, though. I'm loving the kind of hyper-reality of this. You can't be sure what is happening, whether this is going the one way or the other. He's fucking first reforming right now. Don't try and trick me. This dude's gone. That building is going up in smoke. If he ends up dying, I kind of feel like it's like a beautiful image and whatever. I do feel like it's kind of the movie having its cake and eating it too by giving us a fake happy ending with it being sad. Like it kind of betrays the devastation of this actual act killing a human being. Instead, like, prioritizes this, like, this dream or this delusion that Yuri has. Oh, S. Save our slums. Slum's not a good word, but save our communities. Ooh, the 2001 shot. Beautifully filmed. Just some really, really great ideas in this.
Je comprends pas qu'est-ce que tu fais. Mais c'est quoi ça?
Oh wow. They went all the way in on this ending. Full Christ allegory. Full Spider-Man 2. Call your mom. She better answer this time. And that's a beautiful kind of image. The Morse code, the SOS in the building, taps out like a heartbeat. Like the building is living and breathing. No. No. After all of that, they can't just tear it down. That's sad. The remnants of the building. Following its demolition. Oh, Jesus.
J'ai habité 20 ans à Gagarine. J'habitais l'escalier C bis à côté de la crèche, 8e étage, côté voie ferrée. Je suis arrivée dans cette cité parce que j'étais archi fauchée, archi endettée. Quand j'y suis arrivée, je faisais une tête de déterrée.
Peut-être que j'ai déménagé, je sais que c'est chez moi, mais intérieurement, je sais que c'est pas chez moi. Ça nous a fait beaucoup de bien, parce que c'est beaucoup plus grand, il y a plus de chambres, etc. Mais c'est quand même bizarre de changer d'environnement d'un coup comme ça. Parce que moi, j'ai grandi à Gagarine. Je porte ça comme une fierté.
Moi, j'ai un regard militant sur Gagarine.
Gagarine, c'est devenu une photo. Quand il sera détruit, quoi, je vais m'imaginer comme si on allait reconstruire Gagarine. Je sais que c'est un immeuble, mais moi, à chaque fois que je parle d'un immeuble plusieurs fois, je commence à dire lui.
Well, I'm glad they rebuilt it. That's a good thing. That kind of changes the message of this a little bit for me, personally, into being about reminiscing the loss of something that you hold fondly that represents a part of your life. But I'm glad they at least built a replacement. Yeah, apart from that, Like, hey, yeah, well, what's to say? Housing is a human right, and in a humane society, we should have housing for everybody, especially in as plentiful nations as the developed ones in which we live. A different conceptualization of what housing is, of what housing projects are, of what buildings are, that buildings are not like speculation, buildings are not hardware, they're not opportunity costs, they're not graphs. Housing is where people live, where humanity is investing in itself. We give people the opportunity to cultivate, to thrive, to live at peace. Buildings are not buildings. Buildings are where people live. And we should respect and maintain and and restore buildings as we try and like respect and maintain and cultivate human beings. It's a good movie. Some quick notes, I guess. Beautifully filmed, wonderfully realized, about a subject that's very rarely explored in a filmic setting, like housing projects, like young, depressed, gifted, and severely mentally unwell black protagonists. I think that the female character, that Diana, was one of the most functional female characters I've ever seen written for a movie, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean functional to the script. Like, she existed in the script almost totally to service Yuri and his needs, and I think that's a little funny. She's like a Christopher Nolan female role, and it's funny that this movie is musically referencing Interstellar, because her role was very Christopher Nolan-ish in the way that it conceptualizes women as a prop to adjust or to reinforce or to aid men, and that's fine. Not all scripts need to be fully fleshed out in their characters and their roles and stuff. It's just like she was like very, very like utilitarian in this movie, but really well realized by the actress Lina Kudry, who brought a lot of kind of charm and charisma to the role. I definitely liked her in this a lot more than I did in The French Dispatch, which similarly, if not more aggressively, utilized a lot of its female roles as utility players. Yeah, that was Gagarine. I was really surprised. It's a really easy watch. You should check it out if you can find it. Support independent filmmakers, support French filmmakers, and housing is alright. In the meanwhile, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more old, obscure, and art house films. And until next time, keep watching good movies.